Welcome! Today we'll be making a Macrame Snowflake ornament. For this ornament, you will need a wooden or metal ring, 18 pieces of 3-foot long macrame cord, scissors, and tape. In this tutorial, I'm using 5mm thick single-strand cotton cord. First, take one of your 18 pieces of macrame cord, fold your cord in half like so, and place the looped end underneath the ring. Fold it over and pull the ends through the looped end like this. Continue attaching all 18 cords onto your ring using this technique. Now, if your ring is a different size than mine, that's okay. You just need to make sure that all of your cords are on your ring and are very snug, and they have to be divisible by 3. The number divisible by 3 will give you the amount of points that are on your star. So if you have 18, then your star will have 6 points, like mine. Once you've attached all of your cords to your ring, it's time to secure your snowflake and begin knotting. To start, grab any 4 strands on your snowflake. Take the leftmost cord from these 4 and cross it over to the right. Then place the rightmost cord straight down. Make sure this cord sits on top of your cord that you just crossed over, creating a 4-like shape. Next, take the rightmost cord that's laying on top and pass it under the middle 2 cords and pull it out over the opening on the left side. Tighten this all the way up at the top. As you tighten, you want to make sure that the 2 cords in the middle do not twist. After this knot is nice and tight, we will tie the same type of knot, but in reverse. Instead of starting with the left side, we will start with the right. Grab the rightmost cord and cross it over and to the left. Then place the leftmost cord on top, creating a backwards 4 shape. Next, grab the cord that is laying on top and pull it behind the 2 middle cords, then out through the opening on the right side. Tighten this knot directly under the knot that you first created. Next, grab the cord directly to the right of your knot and position it diagonally to the left side, placing it on top of the cords you just tied with. Take the cord that is directly to the left of this cord and bring its end underneath, then over your diagonal cord, creating a U-like shape. Now, grab the end of this cord and wrap it around your diagonal and pull it out through the U-shape opening. Tighten this knot at the very top. As you tighten, keep your diagonal cord in place. This will create the V shape of the snowflake's end. After you've tightened, we'll repeat the same knot using the same exact cords. So now your cord is in the top right corner. You'll take its end, loop it over your diagonal cord, bring it around to the right, and pull it out over the U-shape opening. If you've done this knot correctly, you'll notice what looks like 2 little Cheerios sitting on your diagonal cord, and the cord that you made the knot with escapes in between the middle of the 2 Cheerios. If your knot doesn't look like this, simply untie both of them and try it again. This knot can be a little tricky at first, but don't worry, with a little bit of practice, you'll get the hang of it. Now we are going to repeat these same 2 knots using the next cord over. Take the next cord, grab the end, bring it underneath your diagonal cord, and then place it over the diagonal cord, creating the U shape. Now take this end, wrap it around your diagonal, and pull it out through the opening of your U shape. Tighten this cord as you keep your diagonal cord diagonal, and then repeat the knot again using the same cord. Now we are going to switch sides. Take the next cord over from your snowflake tip on the left side and cross it diagonally to the right, creating a V-like shape. We are going to do the same 4 knots on this side. grab the first cord from your snowflake tip, wrap it over your diagonal cord, creating the U-like shape, then bring it under your diagonal cord and out through the opening of your U shape. As you tighten this cord, be sure to keep your diagonal cord diagonal. That way, you create the V-like shape needed for this tip. Next, you're going to repeat the same knot using the same cord. After you've completed this knot twice, move on to the next cord in your snowflake and tie the same 2 knots. Now, to close the V shape, pull the 2 cords as tightly as you can, placing the left cord on top of the right cord. With the right cord being underneath, tie the same 2 knots you've been tying by bringing the end of it over the left diagonal cord and looping it over, then out through the U-shape opening on the left. Tighten it into the V shape, then repeat this knot. And with that, you finished your very first tip of your snowflake. You'll notice that you have these 2 cords at the left and the right side of your snowflake tip that are very close to your tip but are not actually included in your tip. These cords you're going to want to leave out as you continue on to the next step. Now is a good time to trim up with the 6 strands that you just knotted with. Just be very careful if you're going to trim now as opposed to later, not to cut these 2 cords, the ones that are to the left and the right that you haven't used yet. You'll be using them in the next step. In order to finish your snowflake, you're going to work all the way around, creating the same pattern that you just tied. So in order to do that, you're going to simply skip 1 cord over from your current snowflake tip and then start tying with the 4 cords next to that cord. And you'll repeat these same steps, moving all the way around your ring until your snowflake is complete. Continuing on, if you'd like to hear the verbal steps, please go back and restart the video. This snowflake pattern is the exact same over and over again. Each time you're creating the same pattern, simply skip 1 cord to the left of what you've just done and start your next pattern. So, if you need to hear the cues, please restart it. Otherwise, going forward, I'm just going to show you how I do it so that you can knot along too. Once you've finished your entire snowflake pattern, all that's left to do is to trim your cords and comb them out with a brush or a comb. Now we're going to move on to the third snowflake tip. Remember to skip one cord and then begin tying your square knot with the next 4 cords. Okay, now that we've trimmed, it's time to move on to the fourth snowflake tip. Remember to skip one cord before tying your snowflake tip. Moving on to the fifth snowflake tip, don't forget to skip one cord before you begin tying. And last but not least, we're moving on to the sixth snowflake tip. Remember to skip one cord before you begin your tying. Next, you're going to attach some twine or string so that you can hang your snowflake from a tree or anywhere really. After you've attached it, now it's time to continue trimming and combing out the ends. To brush out the ends, you can use something like a pet brush or a comb. I kind of tend to alternate between the two. You're going to just go along and simply gently brush out all of your cords ends until they create this beautiful fringe. After you've finished your initial brush out, you're going to take your scissors and continue trimming along. You're just going to trim along the edges, creating the same V shape as your snowflake tips. And just keep working along with your scissors, continuing to rotate your snowflake. You may want to alternate between cutting and combing and cutting and combing, and keep going all the way along until you have your snowflake just how you like it. If you like this tutorial, give it a like and be sure to subscribe for more tutorials in the future. Bye!